A picture of you unloading that plane? No, maybe not. Okay. All right. Catherine Garcia.
Thank you, Governor. So as the governor said, we have over 37 million tests that we have ordered. 5.28 million have arrived this week. You can see the county breakdowns on the slide. We are pushing those out. Literally, the planes land, and we have people there from agencies across the state to take them to the large districts and to the Boise's. We will have an additional 6 million tests arriving through Monday so that we can continue to get tests out across the state on a regular basis. And we intend to do that over the next few weeks, anticipating that January and February are going to be challenging. In addition to what we are doing for schools, we will also, on the back of that, being supplying counties with tests. And we have ongoing calls with counties and with the local school boards, the superintendents and the principals, to make sure that they have what they need to keep kids in school, because we, as the governor said, know that is so critical for all of our young people. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Catherine. Please extend our gratitude to the individuals from many agencies across the state government who are stepping up and helping assist in this effort. So you don't see what's going on behind the scenes, but it's an incredible military-style operation to get these ordered, get them secured, get them delivered, get them in the hands of people who need to have them. So thank you to you and your team. Also, we talked a lot about keeping children in school K through 12. Let's talk about kids on campus. And we know what happened last time when so many of the universities, the SUNY schools and the privates had to close during the pandemic. And this is a place where it's different than a situation where there's one teacher in class that actually the students are listening to. A college campus is a little bit different. Students congregate, they live on campus, and so it's a very different experience. We saw some outbreaks before the break started just a few weeks ago, so we're very conscious of the fact that we do want to make sure that students return to school when they're scheduled to, or within a week or so, depending on what the schools are doing, but we're focusing on that first day. And we're issuing new guidance for SUNY and CUNY schools for the spring semester. We are asking all schools to ensure that students, before they return, are boosted. They're required to be vaccinated. Now we're putting on an additional requirement. In order to return to your college campus, you have to be boosted. And this will be part of the reopening. They have to be boosted when they're eligible. Again, we understand that students who were just vaccinated within the last 6 months are not eligible for the booster, but we know the date they were boosted, they received their first vaccination, so we know the date that they're eligible for a booster. So this takes effect on January 15th. We're also asking and ensuring that all students are vaccinated. It's a continuation of a policy we had for that, but also now we're adding faculty to the list of individuals who will need to be vaccinated. So this is how we're going to ensure that these campuses stay open. As I've said all along, we're going to protect the health of New Yorkers, but also health of the economy. When you think about what happens to many of the smaller communities, particularly upstate, Long Island, when a community college shuts down, or a SUNY school or a private school shuts down, that is devastating for the local economy. We can avoid this, because last time we didn't have vaccinations, we didn't have boosters, we didn't have the rapid testing available. So now if we make sure that everyone's safe when they return, continue following the practices we've outlined, the guideline is out there, we're making sure that students can return to college campuses in a couple of weeks. This takes effect on January 15th. And let's keep them on campus. They'll be required to wear masks in public spaces indoors. They'll have to quarantine, follow the New York State and CDC quarantine and isolation guidelines if anyone does test positive. And again, we're working closely with our college partners, not just SUNY and CUNY, but also our privates, to make sure that we're coordinating with them, offering them support as well, as all different sizes, different capabilities of different campuses. And again, they'll have to show a negative test when they return to campus. Some campuses can provide this. Some will be asking students to show proof of a negative test when they return, and also surveillance testing for them when they return, when they're physically present on campus. And also continue random sampling all through the year. We have to focus on this population, because when it spreads quickly throughout college campuses, and we want to keep them safe, as well as the people who work on the campuses, the faculty, and everyone else. Also, it's so simple. But keep wearing the masks and keep getting tested, and here's what we're going to be talking about. we now know that the masks are important, they're an important line of defense. We have had a requirement that businesses throughout the state have to have a mask requirement or a vaccine requirement. And the reason we left it to the choosing of the businesses to give them the flexibility they may want. And I thank all the counties and also the businesses themselves who have been following this. I have seen compliance as I travel from diners and travel upstate and travel around the city of New York. The compliance is very good for me. Visually, I see that. I hear about this. And I'm going to continue to extend that a short period of time. I said I would reevaluate this before we got to January 15th. In the interest of giving people notice, we are going to extend that because we have seen the landscape change so dramatically. When we first instituted this, the trajectory of the pandemic was not what we're seeing now, so we know that we had built-in flexibility. If we saw trends that were not promising or disturbing, which is what we're experiencing now, that we'd have the ability to activate at least on another 2-week period. So it was going to expire on January 15th. I want to give everybody the heads up that this will continue just 2 more weeks beyond what we had originally planned. Again, being very willing to reassess, hoping that the picture is much more positive in February. But again, we just don't have that information right now. But this is another part of our 2.0 plan. And we are extending it. We want to also talk about why that was so important. That's because this is all geared toward keeping the economy open. The other alternative is to say, shut it all down. You can shut it all down. Everybody stay home. Lockdowns, shut down businesses, shut down all the little shops and plays and all the other experiences. The reason we don't have to do this is because we now have the defenses in place, the testing, the vaccines, the booster shots, the mask. So we're in a different dynamic now, but I'm very conscious as while this continues to spread that we can take steps to make sure that they are protected. So we've already gotten 5 million KN95 masks out to counties, and I'm going to show you a little demonstration here of what we're asking people to do here. We believe that you should be wearing the K95 or KN95, okay? Have this. Now, this looks really nice, but then you're going to say, well, I had a really nice cloth one that was given to me by someone I care about or some message I want to display. Well, this is what I'm going to recommend. Wear your K95, but then find your favorite mask and double mask. You're even safer. Look how great this looks. So you can continue to be double masked, extra protected, and know that this is the way you can help get through the pandemic. So we are getting these out to everybody, making sure they're available. 5 million already sent to the counties. We're even giving them to our state legislators. They are our partners. I visited many of our assembly members and senators throughout this process. They're always asking what they can do. They've been great on the front line, hearing the needs of their constituents. So we also are distributing them directly to the legislators for them to give out to their